unlikely. Raised by a single mom, from community college to the Ivy League, from a waitress to the White House. I'm Sharice Davids, and it's my story. Because even when I didn't have much, I had opportunity. But today, too many don't. And Washington won't change that. That's why I'm running for Congress. I'm Sharice Davids. I approve this message because opportunity starts with good schools, affordable health care, and safe communities.
Sharice Davids just won a crowded Democratic primary in Kansas's 3rd district. If she wins in November, she would also be the first openly gay Native American woman to be elected to Congress. And while her district may be small, it contains Kansas City and its suburbs. The Cook Political Report is now calling it a toss-up district. Hillary Clinton squeaked out a victory here in 2016 with a margin of just 1 point. And Sharice Davids joins us now. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Okay, so I want to. President Trump has already endorsed her opponent, and I want to read it here. Thank you to Congressman Kevin Yoder. He secured $5 billion for border security. Now we need Congress's support. Kevin has been strong on crime, the border, the Second Amendment, and he loves our military and vets. Kevin Yoder has my full and total endorsement. Sharice, in your district, how helpful or hurtful is it to have President Trump injecting himself into your race for your campaign?
You know, honestly, I think that one of the things that we need in the 3rd district and what we haven't had up to this point with Kevin Yoder is a representative who is fighting for the agenda of the 3rd district. And I don't think it's helpful to have the president or anyone else from outside this district saying that Kevin Yoder is fighting for his agenda or anyone else's agenda. He needs to be fighting for the agenda of the 3rd district.
As you're campaigning, are you hearing from people who might say to you, I like what you're saying, but I want someone who's going to be in Washington who supports the president? Is the president front of mind for people, or is it other things?
Yeah, the president is not a primary topic that I'm hearing from people. You know, as I go around and I have meet and greets and we're knocking on doors and talking to folks, the primary thing I'm hearing about is healthcare. There are too many people who are concerned about what they're going to do if they get sick, or that they don't have health insurance, or that they're struggling with high premiums. Like, the things that people are concerned about are not just the president of the United States.
Right.
It's how are we going to improve opportunity for the folks right here.
And, again, the president sent out that tweet injecting himself into your race, and I'm sure between now and Election Day, he's going to do it again. In that tweet, he talked about border security. When you have constituents who might say, future constituents, potential constituents, who might say, well, what are you going to do about the borders? What are you going to do about immigration? What answer do you have for them?
Really, I think one of the things that so many people have expressed to me in my conversations with folks here is that what is happening right now at the border and what has happened with family separation is appalling. And I have not met anyone in the 3rd district that I've talked to who is not completely appalled by what's been going on. And I don't think that they're satisfied with the way that Kevin Yoder has failed to act.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't done anything. He sits as the chair of the subcommittee of Homeland Security, and he hasn't done anything except for send a letter to the Attorney General, and that is not action. We need action, and Kevin Yoder isn't doing that.
He attacked you on the Tuesday before you won the primary, saying you lacked Kansas values. The Kansas City Star editorial board responded by saying, we hope he wasn't talking about the fact that she'd be the first Native American woman elected to Congress and the first openly LGBT person to represent Kansas. You lack Kansas values? That's the way I heard the editorial board's response was my response. Was that what you heard from him when he said you lacked Kansas values?
I guess the thing that I was hoping he wasn't talking about was the fact that I'm trying to make sure that as many people as possible have opportunity. You know, I've had a lot of opportunity in my life and because of the 3rd district. And, you know, if he thinks that trying to make sure that others have opportunity, whether it's education or healthcare, if that's not Kansas values, then I think Kevin Yoder is clearly misguided and doesn't understand Kansas values himself.
We're going to have you back when we've got a lot more time. Thank you, Sharice Davids, for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
More